Sports back. It's been a minute, and a lot of folks are off work right now due to these circumstances. I want to first say my condolences to everyone that's lost anybody, and also keep your head up to anybody trying to get back in the game who's lost their job or is out of work temporarily, furloughed due to the coronavirus. But right now we're going to get into the NFL draft. I think this is a bright spot amongst all the pain. Possibly get back to football. We don't know what it's going to be. Maybe it's a virtual season. I don't know. I would watch it. But we're back into the draft, one of the most important parts of the year where teams start to load up and it starts to segue into the trade environment for next year. NFL starting off, you can see the big face there from LSU. I'm going to run down the draft as quickly as possible. Try and make this under 15 minutes. Joe Burrow, LSU quarterback, drafted number 1. What are my thoughts on this? What is my grade? Okay, grades are not going to be put on the screen. I'm just going to talk to it. When we look at these teams and the needs of these teams, it's obvious to me, right? Joe Burrow, from a rebuilding standpoint, when you take a look at the teams in the NFL, Cincinnati Bengals have been mediocre. Their starter was Andy Dalton. The site is thelineups.com. Kind of gives you the rating, kind of like Madden. Andy Dalton, 79, tremendous quarterback, great career. However, time for a move. They're going to move Burrow into the Bengals. Dalton does have the opportunity to get re-signed here. So I want to kind of put that out there. There is an opportunity for Andy Dalton to re-sign. On the backup, they got Mr. Finley and then Dulagala. I don't know. Again, one of these guys are going to have to go. Maybe you re-sign Dalton and bring Burrow in slow, but Burrow is number 1 in the draft. It was needed to change of pace, and he joins a lineup that includes great offensive weapons in Joe Mixon and Mr. A. Green. Okay, A. Green is probably one of the top wide receivers in the NFL. Along with that, he gets another receiving core in T. Boyd. Okay, and he has one of the best tight ends. So he's going to come in with weapons. It'll be exciting to see. Cincinnati may be one of those great turnaround teams with what they have on the offensive end. They are a gambit there. Next up, as we go into the draft, we close up Big Joe. We knew that was going to be the pick, the Heisman window. We go into the best defensive player in college football out of the Ohio State. Be more, stand up, holla at me. Mr. Chase Young gets in the building. He has the opportunity to join a team that's trying to grow. And let's go look at the depth chart on the right-hand side for the Washington Redskins. They're obviously in rebuild-it mode. They come in with a team that's interesting. They drafted Dwayne Haskins. Okay, they're trying to get better. Defensively is an area where I think they could just throw in anybody right now and try to get themselves to the next level. And defensively, they did need a little bit of a help, but they had some strong draft picks. When you look at the defensive chart, who didn't play last year, who we have to think of? Mr. Sweat. All right, Mr. Sweat, I would say an athletic beast. Didn't show out totally, but showed enough flashes. They do, so that's at the linebacker position. They got Moreau there as well, solid. Strong safeties where they're strong at. You see the ratings from Mr. Collins. Cornerback help is where I thought they would, they need a lot of help there. Would I have traded down with all these gaps in here, right? You got Kerrigan as your star. Pretty solid players. Chase Young immediately comes in the DE role and helps Leonidas to a formidable partner on the other side. So we shall see what we see out of that group, but he's certainly going to come in and come in as the lead along with Mr. Kerrigan, and we'll see the development of Montavious Sweat, the athletic freak, who just has to understand how to use that athleticism in the NFL. So Chase Young's number 2. Number 3, Detroit Lions. Yeah, let's go to the depth charts, man. They go after Jeff Okudah. Jeff Okudah joins the Detroit Lions, one of the another star from the Ohio State. I don't know what kind of eggs they're eating down there, but something special in Ohio State. They're just whopping them out. When you look at this team, they return from an offensive perspective. Matt Stafford, Again, probably one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL, even though his ratings don't show that. I think he's a good, better quarterback. At the wide receiver position, Galladay looks pretty good. He has some promise. And then you have Mr. M. Jones, their probably top receiver, who is a solid possible Pro Bowl contender next year. Now, when we get to defense, they're actually pretty strong. They got David Harrison and Daniels in the interior for the DT, defensive tackle position. Then you move into the DE position. They got Flowers. Nice, solid front line there, okay? Got your front five. Now, when you jump into the cornerback role, you see the guy, right? When you look at the left side, you got Donald Slay. Slay is a Pro Bowler, folks. Don't have any doubt about it. And you wanted another Pro Bowler on the other side. You know, maybe your right cornerback side comes in Jeff Okudah. So great move for them. They now, from a defensive perspective, is where they want to be. And I think they can definitely make some free agent moves and get a little bit better. And now they need to refocus back on their offense. But great move from the Detroit Lions in securing that cornerback position, because your front five is not too bad. It's not too bad. They're probably a better rating with Flowers and Harrison. You got those two, and Daniels. You got some of the better players in the NFL. So pretty solid for the Lions. They're going to be a scary defensive team. Now, as we go to next, you got Chase Young. You got Okudah. New York Giants. Here we go. New York Giants, okay? And the draft grades on these guys, I'm sorry. Burrow, A. Chase Young, A+. They really need that. And Jeff Okudah, A on Chase Young. And then this is an A+ for me, Jeff Okudah. I'm not just throwing it out there. I'm talking about need. I think this is a great play. Dalton is older. That's why I gave it an A there. But Dalton is still extremely great quarterback in the NFL. So now, we go to Andrew Thomas out of Georgia. I don't necessarily know about the pick. I want to go a little bit deeper when we look at the tackles and the rankings between the players. Let me just go here. I don't necessarily think I liked him as a tackle. And from a rank perspective, let's just go there, right? Position player. Let's go to the tackles. Let's take a quick peek. In-depth look. There were several other tackles I think they could have gotten. I really liked Mekhi Becton. Okay, I thought Becton would have been the better pick here. I think obviously Jedrick Willis as well, and I also think Tristan Wirth would have been a better pick than Andrew Thomas. Thomas is not a bad pick, solid guy, a great family background. I just think there were other tackles available that they could have gotten. This is a rich draft for tackles. If you're not getting one this year, you're stupid. I'm sorry. I'm just saying that. Tapping up Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'm going to do a video for you because that's what you need. So now we go back to Arizona. They added a tackle to protect their guy, Kyle Murray. Let's go ahead and look at Mr. Murray all day long. What a season last year for him. Really surprised me. I didn't think he would be doing much there, but he was solid. I've seen some glimpses there that intrigues me about Murray. And I like that. Now he has somebody that's going to need to be able to run block. Okay, he's a bigger lineman. Murray has to jump over to throw, but again, he's proven that size really is not really that much of an issue anymore because he's making it happen with these weird throws, a la our favorite quarterback from the Chiefs. I'm not going to mention the name because I'm a Tampa Bay fan, so we're going to take it down next year. Anyway, Andrew Thomas comes in the game. They got Johnson there at the running back position. Obviously, a stud, right, from the Arizona Cardinals. You got Fitzgerald still running that oil, man. Just oil him up. He's still going. That car's still running. And then they need a lot of help here, I think, on the offensive side. I would have thought a good entry point would have possibly been to shore up a little bit more of your either defensive side or your offensive side. Get some new, fresh receivers in there. Offensive lineman wise, they did need help as well. So again, they get Thomas. They have the opportunity to do some more. So we'll see what they get. You looked at the depth chart I just pulled up. The draft is still on. It comes on about 12 o'clock. There's still a lot out there. When you're in the sixes in the ranking perspective, then you got the hidden gem that no one knows about. There's a lot of linemen. They're all in the same range. If I'm the Arizona Cardinals, I would go out and hunt and see what else I can get. You're not strong here. You're not protecting Murray. Shipley is strong enough, but there needs to be a better support on this team. All right, so now let's jump back out. We went in deep depth on Mr. Taylor. Probably took up to 15 minutes. that's thrown out the window. We jump into the Miami Dolphins and check out what they're doing. Miami, City of Grace, Miami Beach. I love it. Party, viva la Miami. Es tus malo y bienos with the weather. You can see my Spanish is A+. I could be a teacher. That said, let's get into Tua, Alabama. They go ahead and draft this kid. Let's go ahead and look at the depth chart on these guys. I'm going to start scrolling my screen here, and we're going to get there. So Ryan Fitzpatrick came in. Fitzmagic did some things in Tampa Bay. I wish they could have kept him. However, things didn't work out in that sense. They decided to make another move. We'll go to the Dolphins depth chart, and it's quickly scary, right? I like Fitzpatrick, and I like Rosen too. They've given up on these two essentially and said we want more of a mobile quarterback that can run. The comparisons are Mark Brunell. There's a lot of Mark Brunell in this kid. I think that's the best comparison, and that's a great comparison. But I still have faith in Josh Rosen. So I'm a little bit sketchy on the pick. I think they should have traded down. There's other areas where they could have used some help. There's some emerging players here, like P. Williams. I don't think he's a 72 receiver. I think he's going to be 85. There's some emerging players that they have that can help on the offensive end. But their running back, I hate it. I hate what they have. I like Perrine. He's a name brand. Ballage has done a great job, but I think they need a solid running back. They didn't get that here. They got a running quarterback that can throw, potentially has a future, but is he better than Rosen right now? It's going to be tough for me to assess with all the injuries on Tua. For me, this is a B grade. Okay, I think it's a B because of the injuries, because of the risk. There's so many holes. There's so many holes on this Dolphin squad. The only bright spot, I think, is on the defensive end. Tib Talib, an old man, saying, you know what, let me have some fun in Miami. And then Mr. Jones, solid in the back front from a defensive perspective, the back four. But the front five, I thought there could be some additional help there. I don't really see it. I don't really see it here on the front five. So that's the area I would have focused in on. Now let's look at their offensive line. Nothing there. I mean, there's a lot of bullets you can point and just shoot, and you'll hit something on the dart line. I think they could have done a little bit better. But this is a B grade for me. I don't know about him with the depth they have. All right. Next up, Justin Herbert. What a move. I mean, what a move up for Justin. A guy that was realistically wasn't in the radar initially to suddenly just go, run up the ranks out of Oregon, and he gets drafted to the Chargers. What does this mean? I mean, there's a guy, you know the name. He's been there a long time. He's an old man. He's now a free agent. Interesting to see what we see out of the San Diego Chargers now. Excuse me, and I keep getting it wrong. It's the LA Chargers. I'm showing my age. And Justin Gilbert, right? It's just going to be a rebuild mode now. They've given up, in my opinion. And I think Phillip Rivers is still one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. All right. Can Herbert learn from Phillip? Yeah, let's see what they do with the signings this summer. Maybe a year underneath the gun. I think that's a good redshirt him. They got Melvin Gordon still. They got Mr. Keenan Allen. I mean, they got a solid core here, right? They got some good, one of the better tight ends. They got Williams. They got weapons, right? Benjamin. There's a lot of weapons, right? Tyrod Taylor is a secondary back. They're going to have to let go of one of these quarterbacks back here. But a pretty good move. A pretty good move for the Chargers. Phillip Rivers was older in age. You got to start to look at the replacements. You've had a lot of years, a lot of chances. Defensively, Chargers are solid. They're solid, guys. I mean, a really nice team. They got Bosa, Ingram, James, Hayward on the back four. Really solid team. I would have liked them to add into the DTNT range. They'll get an opportunity in a little while. I don't want to make it too long, so we won't jump into that. But they have an opportunity. O-line help, you can always use an O-lineman, but they got Pouncey. Can they add some a better tackle here? Yeah, there's opportunity. There's opportunity for tackles, guards. It's an offensive lineman draft, in my opinion, one of the most athletic that I've seen. If you're not drafting here, like I said, I think you're stupid. So Hibbert goes to the Chargers. Interesting play. Maybe a redshirt year if they re-sign Rivers, and we'll go from there. Derrick Brown next up. Auburn. Auburn picked Derrick Brown. Where does he go? Big boy, big tackle. A lot of folks thought he went a little bit early. For me, we just looked at the depth chart for the tackles, right? Yeah. A lot of folks are questioning this. He's not even in here on the depth chart, right? He's not even the front top page. Mr. Brown, let's see. This is wrong though. Brown's better than this, and maybe I got the position wrong. But yeah, something's up here. Brown was by far okay. Oh, stupid ass. Well, I'm looking at freaking linemen. That would help out. Right? Okay, so Brown gets over the number one lineman, right, in the NFL. However, the team that he went to, the Carolina Panthers, they have a lot of holes now, man. They lost Cam. They lost Cam the man, okay? He was older, 31 years old, not a young boy anymore. So Cam's gone, right? You got McCaffrey. They re-signed that bull. Probably top 5 running back in the NFL. Receiver help, where is it? All right. Is Greer going to come in and really take over? Keenan Allen was also in there. The big question marks at the quarterback position. I thought that was something they may have looked to address here, right? With Cam going, I know you believe in your other guys and trying to give them a chance, but that was a question mark. Defensive end, yeah, they're there. Did they need the tackle? Hell yeah. Look at the tackle position. Poe is not bad, but Brown comes in immediately as a top gunner. It's going to be asked to contribute, maybe get 2 or 3 sacks this year. Encourage best tackle in the draft, no doubt about it. But I'm a little bit discouraged. I thought they may win offense here, maybe get some gun power, and they have a lot of holes. Defensively, offensively, holes everywhere. McCaffrey's the only big bright spot. But some of these guys with lower rankings are just on the come up, just learning the game. So you can't fault them for that. Good offensive line tackle, Paredes, a Pro Bowler worthy type player. Turner and Moulton is solid. So you got backup. Left tackle, guard. There goes something, bring D. Williams back here into the first spot. I think that would help out. Solid moves for this team. I just thought they needed another weapon to kind of show, hey, we lost Cam, but we're gonna rebuild. Cardinals again come up the block, right? So how good is this when you got Arizona, right, and this team, and you look at some of the things they're trying to bring to the table. Let's go back in there. And I apologize. I think I just did the Cardinals for somebody wrong because I thought the Cardinals were up twice, so may have to edit that out. But Arizona Cardinals come in. Kyle Murray. Who did I do for the Cardinals? I jacked up. Chase Young, Redskins, Akuta, Thomas, Herbert. I have a feeling I talked about the Cardinals for some reason. I don't know why, but whatever it was, I jacked up. So anyhow, Isaiah Simmons. Isaiah Simmons comes in, an athletic freak. If you watch him in the combine, one of the fastest linebacker times in the 40 that I've ever seen. Hate to kick off with that. It is what it is. He's going to join. I could have swore I did the Cardinals. He's going to join Kyle Murray. And as we look at this squad, Kyle Murray is the lead. Pretty good year. We went over D. Johnson. We went over Fitzgerald. I think this is an opportunity for them to solidify their defensive end. And I like this. I like this pick at the linebacker position. He's going to join C. Jones. It's going to be him, Simmons, and Jones really piling up. Hicks is there as a vet. I like this play. They could have shored up their cornerback position. They got Mr. Peterson, one of the best in the league, But now there's on the other side of the ball, there could be help. There could be some aid, and I don't see that, and I don't see if they address that. But they went with the best available player. You look at Mr. Simmons from the linebacker position. Let's just go there and take a peek. And I'm just using these rankings. I know a lot of times these are inaccurate. Sometimes they have them wrong. But he's a top-rated guy, right? Consensus on the NFL.com is he's a top-rated guy. You had McQueen. You had a couple other guys there. There's still some. What is Gather still doing open? Anyway, we'll get to that. There's an opportunity there for Tampa Bay Bucks. Anyhow, so this is a great move for them. I think it's an exciting pick. It certainly helps their defense, and that was a need. Let's see how they improve. I would say they need to go after cornerbacks, and there's a whole lot of that for the next round. I don't want to go there in this video, so we'll touch base on that at a later date. All right, let's just jump back in. Simmons is up. Now we jump to number 9, C.J. Henderson. C.J. Henderson at the cornerback position joins the Jacksonville Jaguar, a team that is in a total rebuild mode. High pick like this. Patrick Ramsey, goodbye. A lot of players, goodbye. Now is the opportunity. They're in a rebuild mode again. They had such promise, but then that ended. Money plays a role in that. They got Gardner Minshew, an exciting guy who's starting to come up the ranks. People are starting to have confidence in. Hopefully he accelerates what his rankings will be overall. Nick Foles comes back. Does he become the starter again with Minshew's awesome season? I don't know. Leonard Fournette, solid running back now. Came out, supposed to be one of the greatest, but again, doing a solid job. The front five for the defensive end position, that's where they're strongest. Campbell and Jack, great. They got A. Bayou on one side of the cornerback. Now you add on Mr. C.J. Henderson at the cornerback for the left side. Maybe pushes Herndon for a starting role. Exciting for this team. Defense is where they're going to win at, and it's great for the Jaguars to just have those as the building blocks. They have some solid offensive linemen. Again, another team that may look to some tackle help this year. All right. Jedrick Wills out of Alabama. That's not a surprise. Jedrick, flashiest offensive tackle you'll ever find. One of the top guys comes in again and solidifies the help for the disappointing season for the Cleveland Browns. All right, really bad, but hey, there's always a time for an improvement. Now was the time. Baker Mayfield back. They got Nick Chubb at the running back position. Really supposed to be a big star year. They have another opportunity here to blend and match up, and they also have returned a lot of solid players from the offensive end. So offensively, you're looking at some gems. They got Hunt, they got Chubb, they got Baker. Okay, they got Landry, they got Odell Beckham, they got Njoku at the tight end position. Where I see they needed help, the front five. All right, they got Garrett, who was suspended this year. They got O'Vernon and Richardson. Really solid team. Underachieved by a land mile. Now let's look at the O-line, what they just drafted for. This is where they need the help. I give this an A+. This was a great pickup. This is where they need the help. He can play. I think he can play right guard as well, folks. All right, and so I think this is an opportunity for Jedrick Wills to come in. This is a scary team next year. This is a scary team. So we'll see how Cleveland Browns do if they can finally gel. It's a match made in heaven. I would also urge Cleveland to go for a bigger wide receiver, even though you got Odell. Get a big guy just to shore things up. Mekhi Becton, my first offensive lineman that I would have chose. He jumps over to the New York Jets. Yeah, Jets. Yeah, he comes in on a team that's also in the rebuild mode with a lot of young talent. And now they get what they need to solidify and help out Sam Darnold, right? Their number one pick. Latavius Bell, Bell is still there. R. Anderson at receiver, Crowder, Onumwa. They have a solid core, but they don't really have a star receiver, and that's my question mark. Do you try to add on to that? That's something I would say. I think they should be looking at is a strong receiver to help out with business on the offensive end. But now at least they got protection for Sam Darnold, who had none last year. So this was a must for them. Winners is there, but if I were the Jets, I would start trading up and see who else I can nab in this draft. from an offensive lineman position because the help was needed last year. And they're probably going to be more of a running team with Bell as the anchor as Darnold really starts to acclimate himself with the NFL. Couple speed receivers may be helpful as well, but this was a great pick from a fit perspective. They needed it. They got it. Becton, welcome to the Jets. Number 12, Henry Ruggs. You want a speed, LA speed. You know, you're getting away from a car, running away from a car. If you wanted a fast car, this is Mr. I would call him, he a little Porsche, 911. A little 911 Porsche. That's Henry Ruggs, a speedster with that V6 small frame, but really fast at the wide receiver. Runs great routes. He joins the Las Vegas Raiders, okay? And again, they moved. So Raiders come in the building with Ruggs. Now they got some offensive help for Mr. Carr. They needed a receiver, and they got one, all right? So I think this is a great play. He immediately comes in as the first back. He's going to have to anchor. T. Williams is there, is solid. But, Ruggs is going to have to come in immediately and pay dividends. Maybe as a third slot bet in the interim until he gains his knowledge and moves into the starting role. They need help all over on defense. Really, they need to address this. Nothing there. Pretty solid on the back four, but even that is unhealthy. Not enough there. And in the offensive line, they have the better one in Hudson, and then Brown's solid. But Jackson, Incognito, and K. Miller, all guys, hey, you need to look to maybe possibly improving from their current skill set. All right. Next up, after Ruggs, Tristan Wirfs, my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah, I'm biased. You got Mr. Wirfs there, one of the top 5 tackles. Awesome pickup for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What else could you want? Let's go to the depth chart and check them out. You know what they're doing. They're making moves. They got Brady. They got Gronk. Okay. Great moves here. I'm not going to go into the second round pick and third round, even though I know what they were because it's just a first round review. But they've had a drastic improvement over the postseason. Bar none, Winston is gone. It's not going to probably be re-signed, but you got Gabbard, you got Griffin. Garrett was just re-signed. Peyton Barber comes in, Chris Godwin, and then Ronald Jones. Solid running backs. I would have added something here in the later rounds. Obviously, the O-line is where they need to help the most. You got Mappett and you got Dotson. Now you add on Tristan Wirfs. There should be a lot of protection now. If those two are healthy, a lot of protection. Maybe one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. But they had some bad spots, obviously, in the past. This shores it all up. Help on the back four. Yes, they need it. All right, safety, free safety, cornerbacks. I think they need to really revisit this angle, especially with the offense that we're seeing from likes of the Chiefs. It is important that they start to look at this, and I don't know who they're going to get. There's red tag Shaquille Barrett, a pretty solid player on the back two, and then the front five as I call it. Sue comes back, he came back, and he also saw Pierre Paul. Where is he at on this roster? Not even on here, is he? Here goes Pierre Paul at the linebacker position with Barrett. They're solid. They're very solid on the defensive end. They just need to shore up the back end. There may be some opportunity later on, but the offensive lineman position is pretty much shored up, and they got that pack. Brady, you got protection. Good news there. Okay, next up, Javon Kinlaw, my mother-in-law, DT, big, strong animal. Great story from this kid, from what he came from and where he is now. 49ers now have really acted upon their saying, hey, if you think you're going to score on us, it's not going to be running because they have shored up their defensive lineup. Kinlaw comes in out of South Carolina, well-decorated player, great background, formerly homeless at one. But anyhow, that great player. And here comes the front five for these guys. And again, I like Ford. Buckner's there. They got Bosa in the draft who's trying to come up. Solid front line. Actually, this is probably going to be one of the best defensive lines in the NFL. When you add on Kinlaw for a little bit of speed, it's just a disaster. I mean, you're not going to score here. This is a scary defensive team. Where I thought they could have added to was maybe on the wide receiver side. You got Brady at the running back, Coleman, solid 1-2. But receiver-wise, you got Pettis, Samuel, Sanders, and James. I thought there could be some addition here They didn't go that route. They went with the tackle. Not bad. Kittle at the tight end. Offensive line is another area where they're one of the top teams in the NFL. So good move for San Francisco. Solid. They're saying we're going to be at best at something, and it's going to be defense. All right. Next up, Jerry Ludy. Okay, receiver. You want a receiver help? You got it. If you're the offensive captain that just got, we're just going to go to the depth chart and show you why I call him the offensive captain. Can't beat him, join him. You see this Chiefs, and you say, you know what? We might as well go that route because we're not going to be defensively sound. We don't have enough money. Let's just go out and outrun some of these teams. And with Drew Lock at the helm, a great season for him, the future, you're looking at possibly one of the better receiving cores when you got Sutton on one side and then Judy on the other. I would like to see a bigger wide receiver added, but if you don't got it, that's fine. Patrick Lindsey, amazing season, and Denver just cooks up these running backs all day long. You got Von Miller, one of the best linebackers. Your back four, cornerback is great, but what else do you got there? I mean, that's a question mark. Callahan Salads, you got Jackson solid. What else can you get here in the cornerback range? And then on the offensive line, you got to protect your man, right? What about your offense? That's where I think they need to draft. This is another team that needs to look at the tackles and figure it out, okay? Draft grade for Judy, I think that's a B+. Not bad. A.J. Terrell, Clemson, all right? Now the Falcons come back in. We used to do the bird swings back in the day. Now it's kind of dead in the water. And now you got the god-darn Atlanta Falcons looking to be something in the future with this draft pick. But, again, I don't know if it's going to pay dividends for them with A.J. Terrell. So Terrell comes in. He joins a cornerback core that includes the likes of Kedrick Neal, a Pro Bowler, Mr. Allen, I. Oliver, and then D. Campbell. D. Trufant. Trufant has been solid his whole career, but he's coming here, and then A.J. Terrell is going to probably be looking to replace Trufant, but they also have to solidify Oliver. Back four, I think this is not a bad move. But I thought there were some more glaring issues on the offensive side. Julio's been there. Ridley's been solid. Thought they needed one more offensive weapon. They really underperformed last year, and I think that was just a bad start and then started a bad run. So too bad for them, but great pickup for them and on the defensive side, which they need the most out of all the positions. C.C. Lamb joins the Cowboys. Riding his horses now, C.C. Lamb out of Alabama gets the opportunity to play with this team. This should be an interesting opportunity for Dallas as they look to try to help out Dak Prescott, and now he has that help. He is now pretty much a full-on animal on the offensive side with the new offensive coach. You got possibly the departure of Cooper. But Coop, Cobb, and now Lamb, one of those may go, right, free agency. But if they were to keep them all, interesting and deadly. Prescott has more weapons, has Witten. I would have looked to a tight end to back up old man Witten. Front four or front five, however you look at it, I think there should be some help there, right? You got D. Lawrence, they're always solid there, and then Bennett. Is there anything they could have added to help out? Back four. All right, back four, B. Jones, big-time star. What else do you got? And then at the linebacker position, LVH is something interesting. So solid Cowboy team, underperformer as well. We shall see what happens with the addition of CeeDee Lamb to the wide receiver core. Let's take a peek on the offensive line. They're just great. I mean, look at that. Look at. They got some greats up there. If they wanted to add another left guard or right tackle, wouldn't mind that. Just improve to get everyone in maybe in the 80-90 range as far as rankings. But right now, this is a solid pick. And I'm going to stop the video here for a minute. So we left off with CeeDee Lamb. We continue on. 17 for the Cowboys. They got better. They got more receiver work to add on to the great skill sets of Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, and of course, Mr. Cooper, who I hope they re-sign. So interesting play. They are loaded from an offensive perspective. Expect great things from nothing less than playoffs. Austin Jackson, tackle out of USC. Another question mark for me, all right? Goes to the city of Pittsburgh. via Miami. I think it's been a great Miami move, right? And actually, this goes to Miami, it looks like. Looks like a trade. Pittsburgh. It goes to Miami. So, again, let's go ahead and look at the Miami lineup and see what they got and see why it's interesting with the pieces that they've just added to the Miami Dolphins. My favorite city in America, Miami. Well, that's a lie. I love the city. It's one of my top 10. Dolphins. Let's go down there. Fitzmagic, right? Fitzmagic. You needed help in the running back position. I think that's where they need the help at. Now you add in a beautiful tackle. I said they needed help there. They got it. Okay. Austin Jackson, incredible talent. It's I think, great run blocking. I think that's where he's going to affect the most. We may see Perrine do something special this year, okay? I think P. Williams is going to be a most improved receiver for this year. So I think we'll see that. But definitely Perrine and Ballage are going to enjoy the works of Mr. Austin Jackson. We should see that come through. All right, so let's go into number 19, Damon Arnett, Ohio State. What I told you, man, they're like an army, man. It's like shoosh. They just keep producing talent all over the place, offensively, defensively, and they have speed all over. No wonder they always in the running for national champions. And he goes over to Las Vegas. He says, "I want to gamble." And they didn't take a gamble here. This is a sure shot cornerback. In my opinion, maybe the number 2 cornerback in this draft. He joins the Las Vegas Raiders and a team that has an onslaught of weapons now. We talked about some of the picks earlier. Now we get into their depth chart and take a peek of how he helps the back four. D. Worley, okay? T. Mullen. He comes in here expected to be the number 1 or 2 cornerback on this team. Immediately. It's an immediate impact. He also has the size, I think, to move around. I don't want to say this. They have a strong free safety in Mr. Joyner. However, he has the opportunity to maybe play that in small doses. So, for me, took a little drink of water. For me, I think this is really coming out great for the Las Vegas Raiders. If they could do something with that front line, get a little bit more talent, right? Another superstar, I think that would help out. But that back four may be a focal point for this team. Great job to them and drafting Damon Arnett, who's going to be a great hitter, a great coverage receiver. Hey, you got your one-on-one guy. It's going to be tough to get past Mr. Arnett. Now we move on to LSU on the edge, living on the edge. LSU and Ohio State might as well just have a draft on their own. Add in Alabama. I mean, it's just it's like Monopoly, man. They just get all the top players from every school and they're there. So you want to draft, you just go to those schools' practices and you probably get what you need. However, Clavon Chason, what a name, goes over to the Jaguars, right? Jaguars, we just talked about them, right? They coming up. They're coming up a little bit, right? They got a little bit of talent. They lost a lot of talent. I don't know what happened with management and leadership, why they couldn't keep the talent. I think it was payments. Gardner Minshew comes in as a number 1 guy. And now we get into their lineups, right? So now we get into the edge rushing. The edge, living life on the edge. Gokeku's there. You add in Chason as a backup. Maybe he moves over to the other side with Jack. Maybe becomes that Y guy, OLB, right? This is a talented DE linebacker. I think Chason could play all of those, but he's an edge rusher. DE. I love this team. They are loaded defensively, and even with the loss of their big name stars, Ramsey, you have now reloaded and now have maybe one of the most formidable defenses in the NFL. If they can get a linebacker, it would be interesting. What a job for the Jacksonville Jaguars. For me, this is an A. They are going to be solid defensively and may surprise a lot of teams next year. Great job to them. Now, let's go over to Philadelphia. Next up in the ball game. It's too cold up there. But Jalen Rigor says, hey, I need to help this offense, and let's see what he can do and what he's going to bring to the table. Philly really lost their touch. They lost a lot of their talent over the past coming years, but Reed Gore at a Texas Christian is supposed to be the renowned return of that great offensive system that went over to the Chiefs. And you know what I'm talking about, the head coach for the Chiefs, Mr. Tommy Bahana's shirt. You'll figure that one out. Carson Wentz is still there, okay? But now they finally get an anchor on the receiver end. They got Hurts, who's probably one of the top tight ends in the NFL. You got Sanders and Howard at the running back position, solid, but really they did need help at the receiver position, and they addressed that. Defensively, always going to be a solid team. This is where they make their money at. Fletcher Cox still there, Graham, Darby, Jenkins, again, great plays there. If they could continue to maybe draft, they got some good picks. Third round is now a sleeper. It's actually starting right now at 12 o'clock. Got to get to it. But I think this is a great move for them in addressing their offense for once in the first round. Jumping up, Justin Jefferson out of LSU. Remember, monopoly money, man. They get them all. So forget about it. They get them all. Justin Jefferson is now part of the Minnesota Vikings. All right, Vikings made a couple waves last year. A disappointment. They were close. They got the running back game down. Their quarterback is solid. Okay, Kirk Cousins is solid. I'm not saying he's the greatest. A lot of people are talking about how much he's getting paid. I don't want to go there. He's solid. But now they got Dalvin Cook, Thielen, Diggs, and Jefferson. I'm going to tell you what, and Rudolph. So with that front five of powers, there's no doubt in my mind, this is the scariest receiving core in the NFL. In the NFL. Justin Jefferson should be happy to life that he's going to the team that has Thielen and Diggs, and then you add in Jefferson. Scary offensively. Wish, again, there's opportunity here. Cousins is there. I know they paid him. Jameis Winston's also there. So is Cam Newton. Very interesting. I don't want to say that. Very interesting for the Minnesota Vikings. They're also very solid defensively. Scary team, hence why they made the playoffs. Now they're even more dangerous on the offensive end as they are on the defensive end. Could use a little bit more help there. But let's look at the O-line. This is where I think they need to tackle. They need to address their O-line. They need to get more protection. Even though Dalvin Cook had a good year, there's an opportunity. Let's get it rolling. Let's get it going. Offensive line, this is the year. There's so many there. You don't have to draft them early, but you better address them late. Minnesota Vikings are next up to call. Now, 23rd pick, jumping up. Kenneth Murray, linebacker out of Oklahoma. How do I like this pick? Let's go over to their lineup. Kenneth Murray, solid character guy. Come from a good family. We're going to see him enter in the Los Angeles ranks and have some fun. Ooh, I went too far. Hopefully it gets me back. Los Angeles ranks, and let's jump over to their lineup in the Los Angeles Chargers. They, again, have made some strong waves in the NFL. They got Ty Taylor as a starter, even though they just drafted their quarterback. Let's get into what they're going to get here from a Chiefs perspective. From a linebacker perspective and how he fits in. They've already got a solid Bosa drafted. All right, they already have Ingram. Okay, DE. Now they add on Kenneth Murray. Can he fill in the slot? Maybe D. Perryman's getting a little bit older. Can you throw him in there in the ILB position? I think they can. They are very, very strong defensively. Another team that's focused on the right things. Could they add some more help on the back four? Yes, they got Hayward, but I think they need to add on some more work to the bottom four to be able to solidify themselves. But they have certainly a great start and enough to possibly be in the same running they were last year with the team that they have. Very, very strong team. Offensively, probably top 10, but defensively, they're getting there also to the top 10, and they may be in there with the draft pick of Kenneth Murray. We'll see how he pans out. Next up, Cesar Ruiz. Talking about centers, huh? What about that? No one's talking about the centers lately. It's been all about the receivers and the quarterbacks and the DEs, and I'm telling you, this is the draft of linemen. And linemen alone, we look at Cesar Ruiz. Let's jump back. He jumps on to the Saints. Hey, Drew Brees. Is he going to get some help now? I mean, that's the real question. Can we get Drew Brees some help? And here we go. My nose is unstuffing up a little bit. New Orleans Saints. Let's hit it up. Drew Brees. Bang. Go to the depth chart. real time. Breeze is still there, right? Moving. They got to resign him. Kamara, running back, solid. Thomas, solid. Cook, solid, right? You got all those players. Now you move in Maurice. You say, hey, who's going to help this guy run, right? You got a pretty good backup running back as well. O-line, help needed, got it, okay? Comes in the center position. They were looking for that. They fulfill the need. Depth chart totally makes sense. We're strong on the left tackle, strong on the right tackle. Right guard needs a little bit of help, but they're solid. Left guard, a little bit more help needed there, but the center definitely needed help. Wasn't enough. Got Cesar Ruiz out of Michigan, who's going to immediately fill the role in starting, and this should really help dividends, give Drew Brees more time. Whew, a little bit scary for folks out there. Be careful. Another big year from Brees expected with Cesar Ruiz in that lineup. Okay, 25, Brandon Aliyah, Arizona State. Another receiver taken. It's all about offense nowadays, huh? That is the name of the game. You cannot stop me now. And they're coming out again. San Francisco saying we're going to hit with everything we got when they drafted in this kid. Let's go down, see the matchups. We talked about Garoppolo, right? Okay, let's just get into it. Real deep depth chart. We want it. 49ers receiver core. E. Sanders, solid. D. Pettis, solid. Now you're bringing in Ayuk, and what you're trying to say is we're trying to move up. They drafted D. Sanders last year. I think he's better than the 73 ranking. I think he's higher up there with Sanders. Now you got a 4-receiver core. Probably got one of the more improved players we'll see next year with D. Samuel. And an exciting quarterback in Garoppolo. Very, very great moves here. Everyone's focusing against some offense. The Chiefs have set the pace, and now everyone's following. Should be an exciting year of football. Defensively, I think they could add on some help here. All right, I know they got Bosa, right? Right, that's all everyone talks about. You got Nick Bosa. He was solid last year. Should improve, bring him into the 80s rank. But they got Buckner, they got Ford, they got Greenlaw and F. Warner. Can those guys improve? You need help in the back four. Definitely. They need to address that. That should be the next focus for this team. Let's look at their O-line. O-line is just one of the better O-lines in the league. So they're pretty much good there. Looks like they probably could improve in some guard help if there's a star there. But definitely, back four, cornerback, need to look to that for the next round. All right? Now, as we jump through 26, Jordan Love, one of the most head-scratching plays of the draft this year. Jordan Love, the addition, goes off to Green Bay. Probably not the position he wanted to be in. However, things change. There could be movements. There could be moves in the future. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in Green Bay. All right, now they got their guy who could have made some slick comments, but not in a bad way. It's a competitive sport. I'm sure he's going to embrace Jordan Love. I'm sure most quarterbacks understand there is an age limit, and there's great precedent to have a backup. I mean, what could be better if you get injured to have somebody continue to be able to push your team forward without having the risk of losing a playoff run? Did they have a great backup? No, and that's a need. You need a great backup. He can learn from the best and then take over the reins. Big, tall quarterback. Has some certain skill sets that remind me of the Chiefs quarterback. But I do think this is a great opportunity for them. I would have loved for them to add on somebody else with Devontae Adams, another receiver of that caliber. Is it in this draft, and could you get it in the 4th to 7th round? Maybe. A lot of people say Diamond doesn't like a running back. A. Jones is there. Tremendous year last year. Could you add in another backup? I think so. But the area where I think they need the most help is that front four. They need to address the defensive line. Something needs to happen. Again, I'll get into those details later and see who's available. But front line on the defensive end needs some help. I think they can improve there, and they need to address that. So Jordan Love gets in there. Let's look at their O-line real quick. They're solid. They're solid. But those two guards looks like they need some help there. But they're solid. They're solid. So really it's that front four. Defensive line, they should have addressed that, but maybe they didn't think somebody's available who can make that stride. Go ahead and get the backup. I don't understand it, but it is what it is. Possibly a trade. Who knows? You can trade them, use them as bait, and maybe get some more picks. That could be another move as well. Okay, next one down. Jordan Brooks, linebacker, Texas Tech, drafted 27, going over to the Seahawks. How do you like them Seahawks, man, huh? Every year, players love to play over in Seahawk land. Former USC coaches there. And we're going to go ahead and click the off button so I don't get copyright strike or whatever they call on YouTube or monetized tube, whatever you want to call it. So let's go out and look at the beautiful Seattle Seahawks and see how they're playing. Jump into the lineup. Yeah, the 15-minute video became about 2 hours. So, because we love football. So let's get into it. Seahawks, total lineup here. Jordan Brooks, he is playing the linebacker role. B. Wagner's there at the middle linebacker. You got a lot of talent here in the front four. But then they add in some more. So I think they're positively focusing on solidifying your defense, maybe getting one level up. I'm excited to see what we get from Jordan Brooks out of Texas Tech. I think ranking-wise, let's go ahead and look at linebackers real quick. Let's get a little bit more in depth, especially while I got to take this drink of water. Hold on. Where did he rank? Okay, Jordan Brooks was I would have got Uki. Wow, it's actually a stretch, my friend. I that's interesting. From the rankings perspective, it was a stretch to grab him here. Matter of fact, he was picked over Patrick Queen. I don't know about this pick this early. All right, I don't know about it. Wow. That's interesting. Okay, I'll leave it at that. A little bit of a reach there. A little bit of a reach. Let's see what he can do. I think it's a little bit of a reach. That's why I went back and looked at it. I said, what? Is he that high? So interesting there. Maybe they've seen something. Patrick Queen gets picked up next by the Ravens. Let's go ahead and pick those guys up. Queen should pick. Again, Ravens are a focused team. You know what they're going after. Every year, right? They continue to build upon that defense. They live off this thing, all right? They live off of this defense. And by the way, no slight to Jordan Brooks. There could have been a workout. There could have been a system thing that they saw and said, you know what, he makes more sense. There's stuff we can't see. So, Baltimore Ravens going in there. Let's go check them out. Ravens come in. Let's get their depth chart. Bang, bang. And I got to get to the draft, so I'm going to rush this a little bit. I want to see the draft. So, on the linebacker end, front four, yeah, they needed it. Long story short, Ravens needed it. Yeah, they could have used another linebacker, and they got it. So hopefully he comes in, is able to make a little bit more waves. Patrick Queen, drafted number 28. I think one of the top play for LSU, top linebackers who may have a starting position once he gets onto the Baltimore Ravens. So interesting there. Of course, they got Lamar Jackson. They got Ingram. They got a lot of talent here. Ranking-wise, you see how they got Ingram at 78. Isn't that funny? Come on, guys. Come on. What's your rank? That's why you got to be hesitant of these rankings, right? Because if you watch football, you know he's not steady. He's at least an 80. So great move for them on the Ravens side. And interesting how they picked up another linebacker to add to their solid core. They're strong in that. Let's go next pick. Georgia. Tackle. Isaiah Wilson. I love this pickup. Big boy. Strong. Strong as an animal. He's a beast. Beast mode. Isaiah Wilson. Let's jump back. Take a peek. Titan player. Oh, I got the Titans right here. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you. Mariota. Tannehill's in. Henry. Lewis, beautiful running back, strong double hit duo. I would have liked him to add a receiver. Okay, I know A. Brown was just drafted, but it would have been good to add another receiver there. Let's go into the offensive line chart and see how he plays from a tackle perspective. Hey, we ran to the championship. Let's get some more beef. They did solidify that lineup. Keep pushing, keep tugging. Great at run blocking. Great pickup here at the tackle position. Can play either or. I think he can get the right or left. So we're going to put him at the right, maybe take over Conklin's role, or if Conklin's improved, he have a backup. So I like Isaiah Wilson here, and I think it's a great pickup for the Titans to continue that run and pound what they got with D. Henry. I was even thinking they need to add another running back and maybe let the other two guys go, another guy of the same size, because that pound and ground is tough on the body. Last, for Miami, Noah. I'm not going to pronounce that last name. You know I'm not. I'm not going to pronounce that. Noah I. Noah I out of Auburn comes in. Let's jump back. Let's look at Auburn. Auburn again, another one of those monopolies. He goes over to the Miami Dolphins. We talked about their need. We talked about the need for possibly getting a cornerback. Right? They needed help defensively. Let's go ahead and look at that depth chart. Like no one does this, right? Let's look at that depth chart. Bang bang booey. How does he play into the back four? They needed help, right? They had Talib a little bit older. They had Howard. they get somebody that can come in. Right there, Noah is going to have to come in and pay dividends. He's playing. Noah, you ain't waiting. You're going to play this year. They needed it on the back four, and now they got it. It's be interesting to see how they play out. Again, a rebuild team, and they're making some solid moves. I don't remember him being this high, though, so I want to go ahead and take a peek. Players that I don't know of, I just want to go ahead and take a quick peek. Know of is on that. I know of them, but not this high. All right, let's go in here. Yeah. They saw something. They saw something in him to go with him over Trevon Diggs. Maybe it was a speed aspect, but they saw something. He went 30. A couple other guys they could have squeezed in there. They did not. So they saw something. But he's there. He's there. He was their pick. Fits their pickup. Not as drastic as a bad move as I saw from the Giants. So I'm going to go ahead and let that one slide and say, hey, this is a B-plus pick. You addressed the need. All right. Let's go back into the draft and look at who was at the number 31 pick. That's going to be Jeff Gaffney. Okay, I think he's a better prospect than Noah. However, Noah has the speed. Noah also has some size. So let's not slight Noah. He has the size, and that could have been the difference maker. Gaffney gets slapped up by the Minnesota Timberwolves. That is a great pickup for them, and I think a great play again. Minnesota slowly coming in and having a great quiet draft. No one's looking at them. Minnesota is dangerous right now with this pick. Great pickup for them at the cornerback position and getting Jeff Gladney, a position that solidifies their defense with Rhodes on one end. Who you got on the left side? Bring in Gladney. Could be a good risk-reward pick with no risk being on his outside of the game ethic, more inside the game size-wise. I was worried about. Maybe he had a couple pounds there. Be nice to see him do that. And then we'll see how he works out. So great plays from the Minnesota Vikings, slowly creeping in, making nice moves. Got a nice fast receiver in Jefferson. Then you add in Gladney at the really good. You may have some 80s and 90s. And, hey, this is kind of like you drafting your own team on Madden. So great moves for them. Now, the last pick. God damn you. I can't stand you, Chiefs. Jesus Christ. To add on to the already scary offensive lineup. Already scary as hell. The last pick of the first round, Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of the freaking LSU. What a move by the Kansas City Chiefs. Was it the best move? No. We're going to go into depth charts. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to go to depth charts real quick. I thought they needed some more help at free safety, at the right cornerback position. That's why I thought they could add in some depth there. I think they need help in the back four. But they added in Clyde Edwards-Helaire here. He comes in to help out on the running back end to scare away some more folks with D. Williams and LaShawn McCoy. Hopefully they re-signed the two. Now you got a third back. This is a scariest running back lineup, I think, in the league. You got T. Hill and Ness Watkins, D. Robinson, Markel Hardman. It is a lightning rod from Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has a load of weapons. They may go ahead and get another receiver still there, but I really do think this defense, linebacker position, is itching for a call. So is the DE, the edge rusher. I think they could go do more there, even though they have some strong talent. Always look to improve. If you got a 78, 82 player, by the way, these rankings are jacked up. But if you got anyone in that range, they need to improve that. Offensive line, let's take a peek at that. I thought that was something that they could have. Yeah, I think they got to go after their tackles this draft. Okay, I'm going to get a drink of water. It's the final pick for the first round. They need a tackle. Kansas City, this is your draft. Again, anyone needing a tackle, offensive line person, you're stupid if you don't get it in this draft. It is loaded with that. Go ahead and load up. We'll see what happens next. Off Work Sports, I'm signing off. Long video, my apologies, but it's football. It's a lot of players. It's not 10 players or 12 players like the NBA. Much more. Great job by the draft teams. I'm out of here in an hour. First round summary. I'm gone. Peace.